Hello there. We are continuing our series Find the Best Move, and we'll continue just going through the Hastings tournament, famous Hastings 1895. You can see, yeah, so here you can see the tournament. So we are now on the game 3. I skipped game 1 because I know this game, so I don't want to cheat. I want to have this to be a real-time experience, so I don't know the best move, and I assume that you don't know either, so we will kind of find the best move together. Okay, so let's just begin our exercise. So I see that the black side won, so I'll just flip the board. I will play as black, and let's go to move 20. I will just count to 20. Okay, and since it's black, okay, so this is the position. Let me just turn off the Wi-Fi so I don't have lags. Okay, let's begin. So it's black's turn to move. Um, well, the difference between this exercise and the real game is that you are completely fresh to the position, so you need to take some time to just to acclimate, just to get familiar with the position. So, for example, you need to count material balance, which in normal games you don't have to because you have it in your head. So let's just quickly count the material. So 3 minor pieces against, okay, 3 minor pieces, 2 rooks through rooks, queen, queen, pawns, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, the material is equal, so now exchange strategies here. This is one thing, and also, yeah, this exercise takes like 20 minutes, but this is because I'm also talking and the position is quite new, so I need to check everything. And I think I read somewhere that in the comparison between exercise and real game is like 50%. So if this takes 20 minutes to find the best move here, in the real game it will take 10 minutes because you're already engaged in the game and in the position. Okay, so let's begin. First of all, first step always is to look your opponent's plans. This is one rule. So rule 1, look at your opponent's plans first. And the second rule is tactics have precedence over strategy. So first you look for tactics, then you look for strategy. Okay, so looking for the tactics from the white side, checks, captures, and threats. So this is the first thing we have to check. So does he have any checks? Let's see. I don't see any. So let's say that he doesn't. Does he have any captures? Yeah. Of course, he's threatening the move. So this is his last move. So this is also kind of something which signals us where to look first. But don't be fooled by just looking at the last move, because it can very easily lead to blunder. So you have to look at all the possibilities, but of course the last move gives you some kind of hint. So yeah, he has a capture, so he has 2 captures here with this pawn, so he's threatening. He's making a threat here with this move, so this is a forcing move which he just played. So yeah, he's threatening. He has these 2 captures. What other captures does he have? He has this capture. He can capture the pawn. So we are looking at all the captures. It doesn't matter if this capture is illogical, because it can look illogical at the first sight, but in fact it could be some great tactical sacrificial resource. So this is this. Are there any other captures? No, I don't think there are. Okay, so I think we can stop pretty much here, because the goal is to find your opponent's best move in the position. So if it was his move, what would be his best move? And obviously this capture, I mean, not okay, I think it's obvious. This capture is his best move. So if we just pass the move and said, and let's imagine that the rules of chess allow you to just say pass, and then it's his move again. You just take the knight and he'll be a piece up. Let's just check it for every case. So if he takes the knight, you can take with the bishop, attacking the rook. and then he has to move away the rook. He can move it away, let's say on the light square or somewhere where he will not be attacked, so let's say on the d3. And now, do you have any checks, captures, or threats in this position? So this is how you calculate. Yeah, you do have a check, but it doesn't lead anywhere. You have some capture. So after all these moves, your bishop is here now. Do you have some capture? Yeah, you have this capture, but this is covered, so it doesn't work. Do you have some other stuff? Checks, captures, threats. Can you threat something and win material? I don't see how. Okay, so we can conclude that this move is the best move for the white. So this is the first step. So find the best move for your opponent. So the best move is f takes e5. Okay, now it's our turn. So now we are thinking for our side. Again, we are looking for checks, captures, and threats. So even though your piece is attacked, and the normal move is to start looking where can your piece go away, how can you save your piece. Sometimes, I mean, in 95% of the cases, the best move would be just to move this piece somewhere. I don't know where, like here. Okay, so this would be, but still, there are many surprises in the game of chess, so you need to check all your forcing moves. Maybe there is some kind of counter attack which you can, or threat which you can play, and maybe you can neglect this threat at the time being. So in order to figure this out, you have to look at checks, captures, and threats from your side. So checks. Okay, this is a check. But it looks like it doesn't work, because if he just takes back with the queen, I mean, you're just down a piece, and do you have any continuation later on? So he takes. Now, do you have some checks? I don't know. Captures. Yeah, I can capture the pawn, but you just lost the piece. And threats. Yeah, you can threat the queen, but because this guy is protected. So yeah, you can threat the queen, but the queen can just go back, and you don't have any forcing continuation as long as I can see. So now I'm looking at the whole board. I'm trying to see all the possible, all the possibilities on the whole board. And of course, me being a lower rated player myself, I don't see the whole board very clear. So it's possible that I'm making some mistakes in this analysis, but I'm doing my best given my current possibilities, my current strength and abilities. And we will see later on with computer what we missed. Okay, so checks. Okay, this one doesn't work. Captures. Can we take something? Can we capture something in between? Is there some in between move? Yeah, we can capture the pawn, for example. Okay. And this would save the piece. So right again, just by looking at checks, captures, and threats, we saw that moving the piece is not the only option. The other option is to take the pawn. And this opens this G file, so we have to think if taking the G file is good for us, or opening the G file is good or bad for us. I would say it's probably good, because you are covering G4, so he cannot take this right away, either by queen or the rook. So you can maybe move and here. Okay, this might work. So let's calculate this capture. So capture, if he captures with this pawn, okay, then again he's threatening to take your knight. So now you definitely have to move the knight if you want to save the knight. So where do you want to move it? I'm looking at c6, because it's also forcing move. So he can he's attacking. It is a backward move, but it's attacking the rook. The other possibility is to go forward. So after g takes f4, e takes f4, then you can go forward. Okay, because your knight is covering this. So maybe this forward move is okay, but again you have to look for checks, captures, and threats. I can see a threat, he can just chase it with either of these moves, and then your knight has to go to h6, and it does. Okay, and this is the end of the forcing line, let's say. Let's suppose it is. So you have to evaluate. So when you come to the end of the forcing line, you have to evaluate, and I don't like this. I mean, this knight, centralized knight, just went to the edge of the board, so I don't think this works. So takes. We are analyzing this. So knight to c6, attacking the rook. Does he have any forcing moves here? This. Oh no. Okay. So this is what I was talking about, my visualization skill. So I'm constantly saying knight to c6, but the rook is taking c6. And this is what happens to me often in the game. So I calculate some move, and then after I spent 5 or 10 minutes on the clock calculating variation, I realized that I have to throw everything in the garbage because I didn't see that this move doesn't work. Okay. So anyway, I have to choose another square for the knight. Maybe this one or this one. This one is more forward, so maybe knight to g6 would be better. So if he takes, knight to g6, attacking this guy twice. And also the important thing about knight to g6 is that it protects the queen, because you can see that the queen is currently unprotected. So this is also one thing you have to you have to be aware of, is your unprotected pieces. So your queen is unprotected. So this means if he, for example, pushes the pawn after some variations, let's say that knight goes here, then he can push the pawn, and you cannot take the pawn because well, your queen will just be hanging. So you have to be aware of the undefended pieces also. Okay. So takes, knight to g6, and then you can maybe put the rook here and try to claim the line. And also takes, knight to g6. He has to address this threat because it's attacked twice and defended only once. So he might go just with the bishop to d2, yeah, protecting this guy, and then you can continue with your plan on taking the g file. Okay. And what if I don't capture? If I just move the piece right now, he can just take the pawn for free. So I'm kind of forced to capture because these are undefended pieces. Okay, maybe I made a mistake. Maybe I had to list my undefended pieces before I even started the analysis, just to be aware of the weaknesses. This is usually done when you are checking the threats from your opponent. So this is undefended, this is undefended, this is undefended. Okay, those other look right. Okay. So he's attacking two undefended pieces, basically. And then you have to, you have to capture. You have to capture because otherwise he'll just win material. Let's see, before, we have to check all forcing moves. So we checked for checks, captures, now we have to see threats. So do we have any threats? Can we somehow make a threat to deliver a checkmate? I don't think so. What about his undefended pieces? It looks like all his pieces are defended. Okay, yeah, all his pieces are defended. So yeah, I'm just looking piece by piece. Yeah, all the pieces are defended. So no obvious targets. He has some weak squares. So I can see that he has some weak squares here, but I don't see undefended pieces. Let's just look briefly for some kind of double attack. So maybe if we got knight here, it's hitting the h2. If he takes, can we, yeah, this is also interesting. Okay, so yeah, just by looking at by looking further for threats, so this is why you need to see checks, captures, and threats. So if I go to knight, if I play knight to g4, if he now takes, then I can take this with check, because my knight and my bishop are attacking h2. Okay, so let's check this variant. So knight to g4. If he takes, we know what will happen, but he doesn't have to take. He can just try to challenge my knight. But now, yeah, now I don't have anything. I will have to go with my knight all the way back to h6, and this doesn't do any good. Okay, but it's important that we saw this possibility. So if we jump here, he cannot take. This is the important conclusion. Okay, I'm just looking for some other threats. Do I have some other threat? No, I don't. So it looks to me that I have to capture. After he recaptures, I have to go knight g6. And then I still have initiative, because this is under attack, and I can continue putting my rook on the g file, and I can have some nice game afterwards. Okay, let me turn the internet off, and I will just play turn the internet on, and I will just play the move. So no, I forgot. This also happens. This also happens in the game, that I decide on the move and then I forgot. Okay, but which one first? So we have to be aware of the move order. Do we first capture, and do we first play knight to g6? I lost a few games by this manner, in which I calculate all the variation, and then I check everything and I say, okay, it's a good variation, and then I play the second move in the variation, not the first move in the variation. So knight to g6 is the second move in variation. The first move is to take, and then knight g6. And one can easily get confused and play knight g6 immediately. This would be an error. Okay, so I would say that this is the move. I will now play the move. If I was doing this on the board with the real pieces, I will write down the move. So it's important to make a commitment, to make the final decision, and to write it down, or to somehow just record your decision. Otherwise, you can fool yourself and tell yourself that this is not really what you wanted to play. But once you write it down, then you cannot fool yourself. Okay, so this is the move. Yeah, let's now analyze it. Now we'll see what was played in the game. G takes f4. Okay, so we did manage to find the best move here. Good for us. Let's see what the engine says. It will be interesting to see three candidate moves. I'll just turn the engine on. So it will be interesting to see candidate moves. G takes f4 is by far the best move here. The next candidate moves gives a big advantage for white, and G takes f4 is the only move which keeps the advantage for black. Okay, so we can be very happy now with our analysis, because we managed to find the best move in the position. Now we can say it was easy position, it was forced, but yeah, you never know. I mean, it's easy once you know the answer, but as you saw in this analysis, there were many possibilities, and very many things we had to consider in order to make sure that this is indeed the best move. Okay, thank you very much for watching the video. I hope you liked it. I hope you will continue to watch this series, and I also hope that you are watching this actively. Maybe even hit the pause button from time to time, and try to find the best move together with me. So if you are watching this video with the active mentality, with active brain, I think you can really benefit from these exercises. Okay, thanks for watching, and see you soon. Cheers.